the only major bill that was passed this fall, absent this agreement here, and that is, as part of the legislation, the energy legislation, we got the timber payments law extended for 1 year. To produce help for our hard-hit rural counties, but most importantly, to buy us time to get people back to work in the woods, back to work in eastern Oregon, back to work in the O&C counties. So even out of what looked like a dysfunctional fall, we got that signed into law. And I thought I'd wrap up with just one other thought that is, I think, good news for our state and was kind of reaffirmed this week. As you know, in our state, where the federal government owns 50% of the land, if the federal government basically decides to get out of the outdoors and have everybody else get out of the outdoors, we really take a big hit. But nobody really understood it until they looked at the last couple of weeks, where logging was completely shut down in Oregon. We had forest after forest take a hit. In the middle of hunting, season, you're talking about wildlife, refuges being shut down. You're talking about the huge number of people who love our parks and recreation areas and the hotels and motels and restaurants. Think of how many times we've debated whether there really were jobs in recreation and rural Oregon, and compare that to what you saw not just in Oregon but all over the country, where in the middle of this shutdown, what people were talking about is how much they loved the parks, how much they loved the outdoors, how much they loved our monuments, how much they loved these special places in our state. That's why we worked so hard to get Sally Jewell, here. And I wanted to, as we wrap up this part of the program, to tell you I pledge to do everything I can to get Sally Jewell back here, because we're going to illustrate again how important the outdoors is for multiple use, for recreation, for all the things we do in Oregon, including the Oregon Treasures Bill that a lot of you have talked to me about as well. That's my pledge to the OBA tonight. We are a resilient state, and we are part of a resilient country.